All right, so I want to try to address this very quickly here. Let me go out of this space and just go into another area of the house. Hate bathroom echoes. Um, and I want to talk about the value of assistance, the value of assistance. Um, I was actually reading an article, and as I was reading the article, it allowed me to see other things that are connected to the message. What's happening now is that a lot of people, especially those that are stateside, um, really just don't value enough of the people that are in your life to help you. You know, they're in your life to help you. Um, One of the examples I'd like to use is that of a doctor. I prefer the word physician. I think that physician is a better word to describe the individuals than doctor. A physician is someone who is really out for your well being. Their purpose is to help you get better and never see that condition return again. The greatest physician, the greatest physician that we've heard about is Yeshua. He went in and he helped people and he did not charge them a thing except their faith. He wanted to see where their faith was. And it's very important to understand the value of faith. Um, Faith is so simplistic that if it is accessed correctly, it is the answer to everything. In other words, each time that Yeshua asked them a question about their faith, he also made sure that there was work associated with it. He asked the man who was at the pool, "How long have you been here?" He probably could have rolled into the water by that time. Many times, long as he'd been there. Whew, the teaching is real intense with this. But and it went in another direction. I'm gonna go back, but because the other message, or the message I want to get to is the Levitican association of the Levites. The Levites were the people who sat around and prayed and beseeched God for a long period of time for the people. And the only thing that they had coming to them is what was in the storehouse, what the people brought into the storehouse. So 10% of what they had to come to them from the storehouse. Okay, that's why the 10% was there. The only problem started existing when the Leviticus priest began to abuse that, and when they started taking more than their 10%, all right, because people do that. When they started manipulating the situation, because I'm quite sure there were probably some saying, well, God said you need to blah, 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 blah. And you should pay me blah, 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 blah. And the people knew the law, right? So when they abuse it in that sense, then yes. But those who are in life to help you, your physicians, your accountants, all those people who advise you, and usually most people in today's world want the instant coffee, hot cocoa type of answer. Give me my stuff right now. I don't have time to be doing all that work you're trying to do. Well, if you don't do the work, then the results, even though you may get instant results, it will not last as long as when you put in the dutiful work. And that's why your healers, your coaches, all these individuals are saying you need to put in the work. If you don't put in the work, you will not get the long-term result. And that's why they say you have to put in the work. All right, so back to the Levitican law. These people are well worth what they asked for. 10%, because they put in work that you don't even see in order for them to help you. They put in work that you don't even understand in order for them to work you. Some of the stuff that they do is time. Time is the most undervalued and mass used energy there is. And I'm going to prove it to you. So this video is going to be longer than 3 minutes. I tried before to cut it and it doesn't work. Undervalued and overused. Example. You have a place that you work at. You go to that job every day. They agree to pay you either so much in a salary or so much in an hour. Well, here's the question. If they can afford to pay you that and many others to stay alive, how much are they making? How much are they making? Because they can afford to offer you that and others like you. That package and more. So your time is the most valuable thing that you have. Because in your time is also linked your energy. In your energy is also linked your mind. And in your mind is also linked your spirit. Stay with me. All of this is essential. So, that being said, if you have these people who are working diligently in medicine, and this is to help you, not to bind you or to harm you, but they are trying to improve your life. And they've put in all these works in these hours, and they give you a rate. Do you know that chances are the amount that they are telling you that you have to pay is a fraction to what they should be charging you? It's a fraction. Most people who are in the business of helping are underpaid. Jesus never got paid. Yeshua never got paid. Never. Not according to the book. He never got paid. He wasn't poor, but he never got paid. Now, someone needs to tell me if he never got paid, but he performed miracles upon miracles upon miracles upon miracles and never got paid. Can you imagine how much that will be worth right now? And this is what happens when you underpay. And he was also a descendant of the Levites, but that's some other time for that. And I use biblical association because that's where my affiliation comes from. And you have to learn to take what has been taught to you or what you have received and use it for the benefit of all so that people are not so cantankerous when you talk about spirit work. Because there's spirit work in the book. There are some other things too. We know that, right? But I want to talk about the Levites and the fact that the 10% that they were getting, the amount that was going into the storehouse, it was for them. They probably was underpaid. And in accordance to what they were doing behind the veil in the tabernacle for the people. Because what they were doing was for the continuing of the nation. It wasn't just for them. It wasn't just for this little pocket of people over here. It was for the nation. These people were responsible for the nation. And they were responsible for the communication with the Most High for the nation. So if you came and you had 2 bulls and a ram, and let's just say your sin was this over here. And what you were supposed to bring was 2 doves, a duck, and a plow. That's what you're supposed to bring. But you brought that over there. But the difference is, did you have that? And if you had that, but you brought something else, then you are an offense to the Godhead. But if you didn't have that, but you brought what you had, then the priest had to go to the Godhead on your behalf and say, God, please forgive them. They wanted to do better, but this is what they did. They brought this, and they petitioned until they got an answer. Usually the answers was good unless it was real, real bad. I mean, there comes a point when, if you read the story, it gets real bad, and God just says, or the God of those people said, don't bring me that stuff no more. I don't even want it because it's full of crap. Don't bring me your filthy oblations. I don't want it because it's full of crap. That's what that God told them. I have to say it like that, right? Um, it's really a very intriguing book. When you get beyond your pain associated with the book, you're going to find humor, you're going to find good life stories and stuff like that. But back to where we were. Don't underpay your healers. Don't underpay your accountants. Don't underpay those people who are really trying to help you get ahead. And you know when they are, because they really don't want to tell you a price. They're just like, well, let's see where we are and then I'll let you know. With them people that lead with, well, my base salary is normally this. And then they start nickel and diming you after that. Now, if you ask them, oh, well, how much do you normally charge for your service? And they say, oh, I normally charge $399. And then you ask that person, oh, okay, well, what else is included in that service? And they tell you, well, these are the things that are included. Then those are the things you should expect, no more, no less. And if you get more, consider yourself blessed. But if it's a situation where, because usually these healers, these physicians, these life coaches, and all these other wonderful people that are helping you to become better, chances are these people are very, 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 very underpaid. When you consider the time and the discipline they have put in order to be able to help you. So don't be cheap. Don't be a selfish giver. Or don't be a selfish receiver. I want to call it that for right now. Don't be a selfish receiver. You want to receive everything, but you want to pay cheap, cheap, cheap. When you know what they've given you is worth far more. Because I'm understanding this. A selfish receiver will also be a selfish giver. A selfish receiver will always be a selfish giver. So you should be willing to, you should feel like when you give them that, oh my God, I didn't give them enough. You should feel that way. I didn't give them enough. If it helped you and your condition does not return, you underpaid them. But if the condition returns and you can still apply the same information and you still get better, it's still good information. You still underpaid them. But if you received information and it only works for a moment, like an instant coffee or whatever, instant gratification, now it's gone, now you need another one, chances are what you received was not what you expected or wanted. And then you end up blaming them because you didn't get what you want. All right, so this was a bit long. I didn't want it to be this long. I wanted it to be 3 minutes, but Yeshua came up, so that's why we ended up with this long conversation. Ciao. Pay them what they're worth. Pay them good value. That's what I want to say. Pay them good value. Ciao.